Hey, everybody.
I'm a fan. I like that midweek hangout. Like we call it the Wednesday night hangout usually, but I like the midweek hangout part of it. That's kind of nice. I like that. I like that. There's something nice about that.
So that's why we were late, by the way. We were waiting for that to finish and to upload.
Quite literally.
We watched it 6 times before we came on.
We had like a dance party backstage.
Yep.
Did I tell you guys I was banned from singing Taylor Swift
by
my daughter?
Oh yeah, that makes that completely tracks.
She was taking guitar lessons, and they were doing "Shake It Off." That's what it was. Shake It Off. And the teacher asked me to sing, and I went to sing, and she said, "Nope, he is not singing." Not allowed to.
My daughter would do the same thing.
8 going on 18.
Yeah. I feel like my son got a similar message from the theater director at his school. He auditioned for Seussical the Musical this last week. By the way, I love that my son is like completely unafraid to try every sport, every like play, he's just like, all right, I'm gonna go do it. Like
that's awesome.
I would have been afraid to like do all of these things at his age, but he's just like, I'm gonna do it. But he got a very similar note from the theater teacher that, you know what, these notes aren't really in your range or something like that. I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. But good for him for put forth the effort. We don't know if he'll make any kind of part in the play, but at least he tried.
I mean, that's most of everything anyway. Show up and give it what you got, and you.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yep.
Absolutely.
To those in the chat, before you ask, I'm drinking Ironroot Harbinger.
Yeah, but show them how you're drinking it.
It's won a few awards. I'm drinking it in a
whiskey in a stein.
Well, it's got 2 giant ice cubes in it. I don't know if you can see both of them, but it's got two of those block ice cubes. And that's all that was left. So the ice cubes are doing a lot of work on that stein.
You could have filled that with a double of whiskey, like a normal amount, and I would still be calling it the fact that it's in a stein. It doesn't matter how much is in there.
It was a little more than my highball worth.
Yep.
So I threw them.
So you went straight for the stein.
Yeah, like a half of, not even half. It's less than half.
I mean, I've drank whiskey out of a pint glass before. I mean, I really can't judge all that much.
Yeah. That's a workout rep every sip because it's like, did you guys have Super Bowl parties?
Are you going to Charch's Whiskey Weekend? What's a whiskey weekend?
I don't. Okay, so Charch every year for about 20 or so years does a whiskey weekend up at his cabin, and he invites 13 friends, and they have 14 or is it 11 friends? It's probably, I don't know. They have a bracket. Anyway, he invites 11, 12, 13, whatever friends, and they each bring a bottle of whiskey. And they cover it up so you can't see what the bottle is. Ooh. And they do head-to-head matchups, and like every round they eliminate a whiskey until like they're there for 3 days until they get down to a winner of Whiskey Weekend. What bottle wins Whiskey Weekend is the best whiskey.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. I've never been invited. I haven't. Honestly, I feel like I haven't known Charch long enough. Because I feel like it's a lot of his, like we all have our group of friends, and that's his group of friends, like he's going to need some of those to like, fall by the wayside, like, or something, just not hang out with them anymore. But I don't know, but never been invited.
Same. I need friends that live around me in general. Like these are my friends and none of them live in the same state as me. But man, like it would just be cool to be able to sit and drink whiskey with someone, which isn't something I ever really get to do.
We can. I would love to drink whiskey with you, Russ.
You want to come to New Jersey?
We see each other other times.
Oh yes, absolutely. We will drink some whiskey when it comes to expo and stuff like that. But
I can be there in 7 hours, Russ, but I'm drinking a milkshake.
well, yeah.
I'll have one.
Nice.
I'll just put whiskey in my milkshake.
That's absolutely fine. Like you can drink whiskey. Like you're not going to offend me. You know that.
Oh no, but I also want a milkshake. Like I would get jealous of your milkshake, so I want both.
Can't have both.
See, I wouldn't want the milkshake.
Banana peanut butter whiskey milkshake. That would be great.
That is too sweet. I can't do the peanut butter whiskeys usually.
Oh, I love peanut butter whiskey.
We have a first time viewer, Cooper. Hey, buddy.
What's up, Cooper? Hey,
Cooper.
What's going on?
Glad you could be here.
What's the age on Cooper, so I know where to handle myself here tonight. But did you guys, where I started, did you guys do Super Bowl parties? Did you go to any, or did you just hang out, watch it low key?
I stayed home.
Yeah, I went over to a buddy of mine's house, and so it was really for the kids. So like my boys and his daughter, and then like there's there are a couple of the kids that that they're all friends. So like we all went over so the kids can hang out, and so we only stayed until halftime.
Yeah. Okay,
like
sure.
we watched halftime and then bailed.
I mean,
but
that was the end of the
this
game.
was the Super Bowl for it.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna ask the chat this, and this is probably a pre-Super Bowl question, but I'll ask you guys too. What's the go-to best, like not the normal Super Bowl food, but just a low-key awesome one? Because I have one. And I guess I'll talk while the chat answers what their favorite, not obvious Super Bowl food is. So every year we kind of change up the menu a little. We always have the buffalo chicken dip and stuff. And
Yep.
2 days ago, I ate an unhealthy amount of buffalo chicken dip that I was not right for the rest of the day.
That's
like I swear, a half a pound of buffalo chicken dip for lunch the other day. But so this year we decided to do walking tacos. And so we did that this year instead of, so pigs in a blanket, very common one, Dave. We've done that before too. That's delicious. Buffalo chicken dip is always here, 100% of the time, always here. And then a couple of our friends brought Italian sandwiches, and then they brought something I don't think I've ever seen separated like this. And we still have it, and I'm gonna go get it. I'll go get it. But you talk to the chat. You talk about Super Bowl foods that are low key awesome.
Pigs in a blanket. Jeremy saying hot ham sandwich. Yeah, I'm really just a sucker for buffalo chicken dip. Like, give me a bag of scoops and some buffalo chicken dip, and I'm good.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Meat candy, cocktail wieners wrapped in bacon and sprinkled with brown sugar. I want that.
Yeah, so those are definitely had that before. Definitely had something.
I have not.
So the same friends that brought the Italian sandwiches, they brought these Italian sandwiches because they know the kids love them, and they're like, it was pepperoni, 2 types of salami, prosciutto, provolone cheese, and then they had Italian seasoning, and then they had other stuff you could put on it if you wanted, but they made it like that so the kids would have it. Then you could put other stuff on it if you wanted to. Yeah. So Italian sandwiches. But what and you can kind of guess where this is going based on that. What they also brought was a giant bowl. We've all had cannolis, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, cannoli dip?
Yeah, they brought a giant bowl of cannoli dip.
Yep.
And then a bunch of
getting to the Midwest.
And I'm like, yes,
that's like
absolutely.
That's like a normal thing around here.
And I'm like,
my wife and I have taken spoons to that. Yeah.
My wife will only eat that. She only wants them separated, but no chocolate chips.
See, this isn't even it's kind of like Snicker salad doesn't get out east. This doesn't get to the Midwest.
Yeah, that's been a thing for a while here. We used to literally just sit there with a spoon and just.
It took Scott to the North End, and he didn't even get a cannoli.
I don't know what that means.
The North End of Boston
is like the Italian section of Boston, and no cannoli.
Let's see what other answers we got. Crock pot, mini meatballs, and barbecue sauce. Hell yeah.
That was at this party.
Deviled eggs to take to the party, but eat them before you go and bring some. Or Ron Swanson, who's like, if I bring a gigantic plate of deviled eggs, would you have room for them? Also, no one else can eat them. They are just for me. Ooh, shepherd's pie. That's not your average Super Bowl food, but I love some shepherd's pie.
Yeah, but do you melt cheese on top?
Yes.
Some people don't.
That's a yes. It's not normal that you do, but if I could melt cheese on top of something, I'm melting cheese on top of something.
Yeah, you throw cheddar on top of that shepherd's pie.
See, we had a fruit tray, Dave, and not the veggies, but a fruit tray, and it got kind of eschewed for the heavier stuff, the meatballs and the deviled eggs. And my wife made it was probably if we were in the Midwest or if we were in Minnesota, it's probably hot dish, but it was tater tots and a whole bunch of cheese, and I think she like topped it with, I don't even know if it was breadcrumbs or if it was like cereal with butter, like, and then baked it, and it was that was top shelf too. But
so my mother used to make.
Well, wait, hold on. Let's just talk about Snicker salad for a second.
Yeah, Snicker salad doesn't seem to get out of the Midwest much, but it's vanilla pudding, whipped cream, Snickers candy bars cut up, Granny Smith apples, and sometimes people put little mini marshmallows in them too. I think most of the time they do, but that's basically, and then you drizzle caramel over it.
The apples would throw me, I think, a little bit. Like, not that I don't want the apples.
So good.
Yeah.
It's so perfect.
No,
in fact, without apples, it's just way too sweet and like candy.
Yeah.
The apples just they are the perfect pairing for it. Huh. I got to make you some. Apparently.
Yes. You're not. I will not turn it down, Scott. The answer is always yes to food.
So my mother used to take those Pillsbury crescent rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Put sour cream on it.
Okay.
Bacon bits, and then roll it up and bake it.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Huh.
Only for the Super Bowl.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You could eat like 4 rolls.
Yeah.
Four sleeves of them.
I would say that's before the coin toss, Bob.
No, wait, hold on. Did someone like literally just put an alligator on a grill?
I picture it like on a spit.
I'm literally just picturing someone going, okay, here, like in Waterboy, she had the mini alligators on the grill.
You throw it on a pig skewer.
Yeah.
But I've eaten alligator before. It's okay.
Yeah, at least when I had it, it was texturally like chicken, but had a more like a fishier flavor.
A fishy chicken.
Yeah.
Cheddar and bacon hash brown muffins.
In.
Bacon.
This would be insane. I don't know that I'd want to ever do this. You weigh in when you get there, and at the end you weigh out to see who ate and drank the most.
Oh, no.
We did not do any games this year. We were pretty low key. Generally, we have games, and generally people want to play my card game, which is there's like 24 cards and you deal them out and different things on that. Like everybody throws a buck in the pot. So there's like 7, 8, 9, 10 bucks in the pot. And each card is like punt or touchdown or field goal or whatever. And you get a dollar amount based on that. If that happens the next time that happens, if one of those things happens, you throw another buck in the pot and redeal. One year we had hundreds of dollars in that pot because, and it was the Seattle, New England Super Bowl. So like, it was like 3 things happened like right in a row at the very end of that game that the pot kept switching hands at the end. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. But that people love that game. I just didn't have the energy to do it this year.
Yeah.
I'm getting old.
Whole alligator in a gigantic. Good. I'm so glad that it actually was the way I was picturing it.
Oh.
I played in one Super Bowl pool.
By the way, the cannoli dip and Italian sandwich bringers moved here from New York like 7 or 8 years ago. So
they know.
Yeah,
they know. I won the second quarter. Put in $20. It was I think it was $10 a square. Put in $20. Won 125.
Nice. I was just cheering for people to win the Fantasy Care Squares game.
Yeah,
I saw there was a Gabe Gearing. There was a Frank in the chat. It was
yeah.
Nice.
When Greg, so I'm highlighting the squares live while like at the end of each quarter, and when I highlighted Sarah Flynn, I'm like, hell yeah, girl, hell yeah, Greg's wife got one.
Yeah.
I guess staying slightly on food. Do you have Cracker Barrels out where you are? I know it's mostly a Southern thing, but you probably know what it is.
There's one in Portland. I could drive 45 minutes and get to one.
Yeah,
they're along the highway. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little closer than it's like 25, 35 minutes from me.
Gotcha. We took my kids to one for the first time this last week, and
how much useless crap did they buy?
They
throw the peanut on the floor.
Yeah, they wanted to go to IHOP or Perkins in between tournament games, and we were looking at the map and we're like, oh, I bet you've never been here. We brought him, and Ian was not happy at first, and then he was very happy.
Everything's drowning in butter and delicious. Of course, he should be happy.
Yeah, it was good. He ate a lot of bacon, which probably hindered him in the next game. But what are you gonna do? Natural smooth transition from that game tournament weekend to my son has baseball tryouts this upcoming week. Zach.
Yeah.
He generally plays first base. He pitches sometimes, but he's almost always a first baseman. But they rotate him a lot at this age.
Yeah.
But that's where they tend to when the coach knows players are decent, they're like, we're going to start you here, get you a couple innings there, and then we'll move you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So first base is his general position. But do you have any tips for him going into – he's got fielding tryouts on Monday and hitting tryouts on Tuesday. He's going in cold. It's cold winter. He has not swung a bat for, 6 months? Do you have any tips for him going into fielding and hitting tryouts?
That's tough to have tryouts after not doing anything at all. That's
I'm wondering, should I take him to a batting cage this weekend? I don't know where I'm going to get him fielding practice, but
it's for me. It was always tee. Like I had a tee set up we had a barn. I grew up in a house that was built in 1750. And it was a big old farmhouse, had a barn. And so I had a tee and a golf net set up in the back corner of my barn. And so that's what I'd do for 2 months before the season started. But I mean, it's the same stuff. It's focus on fundamentals. It's shoulder to shoulder. That's how I talk about it, but shoulder to shoulder. So you start on your front shoulder, finish on your back shoulder. So shoulder to shoulder, chin to chin.
Yep.
And just meet it and he'll be fine. Don't worry, but stay loose. Don't get too uptight about it. You'll be fine.
So this is a little worry of mine is that last season he started out the season with a hitch in his swing.
Yeah.
And we got rid of it by the end. With enough practice, we got rid of it by the end of the season. My worry is he's going to go in and it's going to be right back.
So have him take dry swings in the mirror too. I mean, that's something that he can see what he's doing. It's the you've seen Bull Durham where he grabs the wrapping paper tube out of the trash. He's walking down the street and he goes in and he's that's something that you can do, you know, with him without even having to go to a batting cage. But if you've got a batting cage around, same idea. But yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of shoulder to shoulder, chin to chin. Get your, you know, you want to come through the zone here instead of, you get a lot of people that drop. I don't like that. And I see like Aaron Judge's batting coach has him drop sometimes, and I'm like, Aaron Judge can get away with that. That's fine, but like most people can't.
Like, is the point of that to go for the home run? Like, is that why you're dropping? So you get air under it?
I think it's kind of repetition and to get the bat through the zone flat. But to me, if you come here and you're hitting, you almost want to be on top of the ball. Yeah. And so if you're here, instead of dropping your hands, I think your path of the ball is quicker. I think you're hitting on top of the ball, and then you're just trying to hit line drives. And when you make a mistake, that's when you hit a home run.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, Ian never has a problem with the home run thing. Not that he can't hit something like that. He is a constant line drive and a ground ball hitter, but partly because of that hitch. But
that's that's one of those things that you never know. Like I never hit home runs. I didn't hit a home run in Little League. I never hit a home run in junior high. And then when I got to high school, I had set the career record for home runs by the end of my junior year.
Jeez.
And it was just
learn how to make contact.
Yeah, you just figure out how to hit, and then eventually the power will come because he'll grow. I mean, he's going to be a big, a big kid, tall kid, and that'll come.
He needs his size. He needs his teenage body. Now he is growing height wise and not out yet. So.
But if you can put the bat on the ball, and hit line drives, the power will come. But it's a lot harder to teach somebody to hit and hit for contact and hit line drives than it is to get bigger and hit for power. Yeah, Stevie, it's all launch angles now. But that's fine. But it's the same thing with pitching, where it's all spin rates, and I think you give stuff up. It's a trade-off. Like launch angle, you're trading off hitting for average, at least somewhat, or at least making contact, because I think that if you come through the zone, if you're dropping your hands and coming up with your launch angle, you're cutting down on the plane that you can actually hit the ball with. Mm-hmm. But anyway, sorry. The fantasy football Wednesday hangout. We went baseball, but
yeah, we went baseball. It's on my mind. We got him a new helmet. We got him a new bag. We're getting him new cleats, because he's growing. It's like they're required, honestly, just because he's grown out of last year's stuff. Joey Wright talking about the Trivia Night live on Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. You should all check it out because it was a lot of fun. Bob and I were on it last week. Next week is the Wide World of Sports is the theme, and it's with guests Russell Fisher right here. I see Russell. And Hutchinson Brown. Yes.
No, I didn't know it was going to be Hutch. I might not be able to make it now.
Well, as long as the questions are about older, it's older trivia, you should be fine.
I wonder if we could get Joey to create a 5-question trivia night and come on here for 10 minutes to show the chat what it's like. I wonder if we could get him to do that. We'll see. We'll see if he heeds that. Let's see here. Back to no. Let's go to this. So I was looking at prizes to get for things, just random things, and I was looking at an Ohtani Funko and an Ohtani sign thing, and I just kept thinking to myself, you're in the chat, you win prizes a lot, you're up for prizes a lot. What are some things you would like to see us give away potentially?
And that's anywhere from free stuff for being in the chat to prizes for participating in campaigns. Anything that you could think of that you would want as prizes. Are you good with signed memorabilia? Do you want more Funkos? Do you want something we haven't thought of yet?
Yeah, any ideas would be great. We feel like we've hit on a lot of good stuff, but honestly, like there's a lot of SFP 15. I love that. Yeah, just any ideas you want to throw in the chat, we would love to hear them, because I was looking around for some things and I couldn't figure it out. So
I know we kind of talked about this the last time this came up, so it's probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 shows ago, but like for me, I'm always thinking about like the SFB merch, like the shirts and things. Like those are, yeah. See,
Is that more popular than I think it is? I mean, I think it is popular, but like, is that a thing that people in the chat would really, really like?
I mean, yeah.
We have.
I purposely hold stuff. Like we brought stuff to the expo to give away, and I purposely didn't bring everything because throwback stuff is awesome. So I try and hold stuff on for a couple of years, so it does feel like it's a little throwback.
I have Roto-World sent me all the rest of their old inventory from like SFB, what is it, 8 through 13 or 12 or whatever it was. So I have, it's only about 10 or 11 shirts, but I have a bunch of
small.
They are on the smaller size. They're all the sizes. There's some XLs and 2XLs in there, but yeah, there's probably half of them are medium or small. Fantasy Care signed T-shirts. I mean, this is interesting. So, like, who signs it? What would you like? Yeah, who signs it?
There you go, Scott. We're just gonna have you in the back.
The Fantasy Cares team, or
it'd be like who was it that was doing it? Like there's a couple of people that have done it by now, but I remember there was one with Cena and one with someone else where there's literally just someone like this quickly pulling the posters out of the way.
I've seen Cena do that for sure.
And they're just like literally just like pulling the posters, and he's just sitting there over and over again.
Yep. Yeah. I do like my signature though. I think it's a sweet signature, honestly. It's borderline illegible, but it's a sweet signature. I've showed it before on here, right?
Yeah.
I've seen it, Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is terrible. Mine is just as
mine's still here from when we showed what our signatures look like.
I got rid of the 13. I have to like remember not to sign the number, but
that's funny. Yeah, that's. Did you sign a lot of?
We did some. I mean, like, because you end up playing and it's fantastic.
I do think it's good. I think it's a good-looking signature.
It is.
Because I know your name, I see a lot of it.
You see the S, you see the 2 T's, you kind of see the F.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a solid flourish. I've never been like, my handwriting is terrible.
Yep.
And so like for me to spend time like dialing in a signature is just torture. So I just like it's just Zorro. It's just a Z. But
I love it. Funko or bobblehead. Honestly, I would throw that behind me on my area behind me. That'd be awesome. This, like,
the goat meter.
Honestly, I don't even know what kind of price tag you put on the goat meter shirts, because those things need to be limited edition. That would be cool. That'd be cool for sure. I watched the finale of High Potential, the season finale of High Potential today, which is an ABC show with Caitlin Olsen, from It's Always Sunny. But James Roday Rodriguez directed an episode earlier in the season. He directed the finale, and I almost texted him that like I almost texted him, "Hey, I know that guy." And at the end of the episode, I almost texted him, "Hey, did you have to edit on a cliffhanger? Really? Did you have to do that? Like, I know that it's renewed for season 2, but like, did you have to do that?" Like, I'm a big fan of the insulated seasons. Like Dexter has insulated seasons that are awesome, well done stories. It's insulated, boom, and then it continues. I love the insulated season. I don't like, I'm 45. I don't like the cliffhangers anymore.
Don't question his artistic vision, Scott.
I'm gonna guess it was the writers.
Oh, it's absolutely nothing to do with him whatsoever.
But I was gonna give him crap about it.
No, Scott keeps those all for himself.
Yeah.
Koozies, yeah.
Me with my extreme love of of can koozies. Zach, do you have high school baseball cards?
I don't. We didn't.
That
wasn't a thing at that point.
What do you mean that wasn't a thing? I have baseball cards of myself when I was like in bantams or whatever.
maybe my parents just didn't. They wouldn't spring for that. Maybe that's more.
Yeah, Little League, they did the pictures that were baseball card size.
I mean, I get the picture, but like just like one, like a 3x5 or whatever, like little wallet one. But no, I didn't have cards. Sorry.
More tournaments. I feel like, I mean, we have more contests coming on. I don't know how tournamenty they are, but we have some contests coming.
March Madness is a tournament that we're doing a contest about.
Yep, and we're doing a golf one that's multiple tournaments. SFB mini logo helmets. I do like the fishbowl mini helmets. I really do like those. I feel like we could make more of those. I feel like people would like those. I think those are pretty badass.
Yeah. I love this thing.
Fish-shaped footballs? Like, how does, like, is it just a football that you throw a fin on it?
like the
old Nerf one.
The State Farm commercial with Danny from Ted Lasso. He made a football combined a football and a football.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
Didn't they have like the vortex, like the Nerf vortex that had the fins on it? You could, it wouldn't be too far off.
We recently just had a conversation about this, not just with me, but with other potential people to raise money for charity, doing this kind of, draft order type stuff to raise money. That's an interesting thought. I think that could work. Love those helmets they've signed. I'll never forget the Boston incident. Never forget that because it still blows my mind.
Well, for the one person on the screen that wasn't here for that. What?
Oh, Bob, you want to tell it?
No, go right ahead. I mean, it was just out of the blue. Like Scott will sign it.
It just is what it is. We had one of those mini helmets at the Boston Live, and it was at like X amount of dollars, like $50, $60, something like that. Bob, what was it? What was that?
It was probably like 50 or $80, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And it was just the normal helmet. And then we said, okay, Scott will sign it. And Sal went on the mic and said, Scott will sign it if you want and stuff, and got it signed and whatnot. And what did it go for, Bob?
400? 500? Yeah, 400, 500, something like that.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. It is still the only one in existence though. So
right.
At this point. But
it's the first.
It's a one.
It'll always be the first.
I should have put 1 of 1 on it. It was.
He'll be back.
He'll be back. We
can update it.
Goldfish munchies. Throwback jerseys and helmets. So I was thinking about this. So we have a store here in Minnesota that sells like professional athletes like Justin Jefferson, LeBron James, all them, it's at like tons of professional athletes sells their high school jerseys.
Huh.
It's the high school jerseys of like Jamar Chase, like their high school jerseys.
Interesting.
And that's what the store is. Like it's got the red and white high school jersey for Justin Jefferson, right? Did someone just make that? Bob, did you just make that?
Bob in the background.
Jeez.
Why not? It's got everyone's signature, right?
Well, that is definitely not my. That's like, it works.
Amazing how similar ours is on that one.
Yeah.
You guys are really good. You guys took your time and did it right.
But I honestly thought about going to that store and buying a handful of those as giveaways, because I think those are pretty cool. Honestly,
that is cool.
I did. So I know Paul Allen and Chad Greenway. They do the Fantasy Feast. I saw them a few times this year, and the final Fantasy Feast, I had Paul Allen sign a Salute to Service Vikings mini helmet, and I had Chad Greenway sign like a white Winter Warrior Vikings helmet. I have not given those away yet. I'm not sure when I will, if it's going to be like a Minnesota Live event thing or if we'll give it away on this or whatever. But yes, I do have 2 of those. They're pretty badass, honestly. I kind of love them. I don't know. What is this? Yes, Scott, too? I missed it.
I don't know, but a creamsicle SFB jersey. I'm down for creamsicle jerseys in general.
How about a creamsicle and a powder blue?
I'll hang it next to my powder blue T. Higgins jersey.
Pretty sure I have one.
You what?
I'm pretty sure that we have one.
A powder blue SFB jersey?
Oh, jersey. Sorry. I'm thinking proper English. Just a jersey.
Jersey.
I guess a shirt is a jersey.
Oh, get out of here.
I did find the perfect one for Russ that I shared with Zach that will not come out yet, but it's coming. It's the Russ's Basement Draft shirt.
Nice. I don't think this happens, Jeremy. Paul is doing Canterbury calls every time we do live events.
I mean, it seems like FC shirts or SFB shirts
in jerseys,
in jersey style.
That's interesting.
I will share with you guys after the show.
Okay. This is really off topic, and honestly, we're always off topic on this show. But since the chat has been here not since day one, but we finally have resolution to my title issues for my car. I signed some paperwork to make my parents' power of attorney down in Arizona for me to submit the paperwork to get my title. I got my title sent up here, and they mailed it up here to Minnesota. I turned it into the DMV here, and I will get my Minnesota title within a few weeks. It felt like it took months to get this done. But I let the chat know because I know you were there for me. It feels like it's almost finally resolved. I only had to sign over power of attorney.
I was going to say, you didn't have to fly down or anything.
Well, that was the other option.
Yeah.
And I legitimately thought about it because there was one weekend where it was like $150. And I'm like, go visit my parents, hang out in Arizona. Like, I'm not paying for a hotel. I'll just stay at my parents' place. So I thought about it. I thought $150 to just go go get that done, hang out with my parents and be in Arizona for a day and a half and go back. But nah, The 32-cent or 34-cent or whatever it is stamped is just fine. Oh man,
what 48 cents now?
is it? I have no idea. I have no idea.
I've got a roll of forever stamps that I bought in probably 2008 that I just still like fire them off.
I have, yeah. The only reason I know is because of the sticker of the month club, because I had to keep buying stamps.
Yep. Yeah. Zach says, in this economy, that was what I thought about with the deviled eggs. Like we had somebody brought like 2 trays of deviled eggs. I was like, that's like $8,000. Like, what are we doing?
Zach, Steve F wants to know what was on the menu tonight.
Tonight I didn't cook. Tonight was my youngest son has therapy in Portland, so I drove an hour and a half to Portland, or an hour to Portland, and the boys had McDonald's on the way home, and I just had tortilla chips and pineapple salsa. Like that's what I've had.
Wow,
it was okay.
You can come sit by me if you want.
Last night I made steak tacos. Like that was pretty good.
Ooh, that does sound good.
Yeah, but
my son ran in the house because it's 101 Bucks Timberwolves with 22 seconds left. So
nice. That little folklore that my dad always used to say, all real games are won and lost in the last 22 seconds. So whenever a game stops on 22, he'll text me.
Nice. 22 seconds left. Yeah.
I got him at 15 seconds.
It's 10.9 now. It's still 101.
Oh, foul on the
They're at the free throw though.
We'll have to review it. It's not a
foul. What's the fantasy baseball tournament that we teamed up with?
TGFBI, the Great Fantasy Baseball Invitational with Justin Mason. Just an awesome tournament they do. They run it on NFFC or NFBC, I guess technically is what they run it on. But it's a sweet tournament he's got going on. He's got a Potapalooza that he does live. We should talk about if he wants to stream it on our channel as well. That Potapalooza is March 8th and 9th. So if you're into baseball and you want to be part of that and maybe donate to part of that, TGFBI, the Great Fantasy Baseball Invitational, you can, Google that and find all the information.
Come on, Ant.
Rabbit Dad's going to be in Arizona next month. Anything he should check out?
If you need a power of attorney,
Yeah, you need a power. You want to bring this to the table, Islandian? Yeah, we lost by 2. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I go to lots of cool stuff in Arizona. Andrea, what are 2 cool things to go to in Arizona?
Which area? Phoenix?
Phoenix area, Rabbit Dad? Let's assume Phoenix area.
The Botanical Garden.
Botanical Garden.
If you're willing to drive, I like Montezuma's Castle.
Montezuma's Castle, if you're willing to drive.
It's not that far.
It's like an hour.
Oh.
Yeah, and that only breaks through when there's low sugar.
It's time for some juice.
I'll be back in a few moments.
Bring some of those gummies.
I don't share those. You guys got lucky.
Camelback Mountain is a lot of fun. We'll take his word for it.
I still don't know if Joey decided he's going to come on live with us.
He said the trivia is ready. Saturday morning cartoon.
He said he would make a trivia, but he can't come on. Oh. So if someone else wants to run it.
Well, Bob left, and he would be the quickest to be able to do that. That's adorable of Joey that he got a trivia ready for us super quick like that.
I mean, since he's not here, we can say he's pretty awesome. Like,
He is really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I would never say this to his face, but he is such an incredible, wonderful, amazing human being. I am so proud to call him a friend, but I would definitely never. I hope he never hears that, and I would never say that to his face. But I mean,
I zoned out. Were we talking about me?
we were talking about you. Absolutely.
Okay. Oh yeah, I would not like Arizona. I don't care if it's a dry heat. I don't want none of that.
Yeah, it's such a legit thing, that dry heat thing. Like, hot is hot no matter where, right? But I've been to Arizona where it's been like 106, and I'm like, this is better than 80 in Minnesota. With the humidity we have in Minnesota, like, this is not bad. And sometimes in Arizona, when you're in the shade, it's not even bad at all. It's like 100 and you're in the shade, and it's fine, because it's not humid. The dry heat thing is true, but hot is hot. It sucks at that heat no matter what. But I understand it, because when you're just, the humidity just drags you down. It destroys your will to live sometimes is what that humidity does.
Yeah, I think the worst heat that I've ever, and this is mild because I'm again Northeast, but like I played baseball in Houston in August, and it was like right after a hurricane had come through, and so it was like 106 or 107, and it was like 100% humidity, and you walk outside and you're just like you couldn't get the right amount of oxygen because it was just so humid and so hot, and I'm like, I'm done with this.
Hey,
what's up, guys?
What is going on, Joey? And yes, definitely, Zach. But what's going on, Joey? Right? I saw you in the corner. I actually was pulling up the cartoon trivia you just made.
Yeah, you said you wanted me to do 5 questions. I'll do 5 questions real quick. I went to my garage because I'd mentioned this before. My
really?
studio
That's a garage? I had no idea.
Yeah,
that's
the
wow.
garage behind.
You could have fooled me.
I thought that was just
actually
like fancy open walls. Like facing brick is a very nice thing, and that maybe just studs and beams is what they're doing.
Why? There's a stud. I'll have to say.
Yeah,
Hey.
there's a stud. There's a stud. If you were drinking Jim Beam, now that would be like a double. It'd be studs and beams.
Well, yeah, I made 5 quick questions to show people how the trivia works. Yeah.
I had another topic I was about to talk about because of your background there, but I think we need to do trivia and get you out of here, because I know that you hate being in front of a camera and being on the mic. It's like
no. I just don't have my good microphone.
I'm being sarcastic.
Okay. Yeah. Bob's
Oh,
here.
there's
Hey,
Bob.
Bob.
What?
All right, let me.
It was the coffee alarm.
Let me get this set up real quick.
You don't have roll-up doors throughout your entire house. Yeah, I was gonna pull it up. If you want to pull it up, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Yeah. All right. No, I don't, Mr. Scampers. I will talk on that thing. So, in one of our rooms, in the workout room, like the room, we have a 4-bedroom house. We have me and my wife in one, and each of the kids have one. When Matt got old enough, we moved him downstairs. The kids take over the downstairs. That's their area. Upstairs is our area, right? We turned the playroom upstairs into a library. The Malcolm's, when now he's older, he's downstairs. His room turned into a workout room / guest bedroom. So there's this giant queen bed that we haven't known what to do with since we swapped the rooms. And we have this guy, this local woodworking guy that built this awesome cabinet system on our banister. We're having him build in shelving and a Murphy bed on one wall of that bedroom, which is going to be awesome. But our oak had a giant part of the oak tree, like a 200-year-old oak, fall down. and we had it planed and everything. So we have all the wood from that oak, and we're going to have him make a lot of that like new Murphy bed out of like the oak from that tree. So it'll be kind of like, it'll be something special. It'll be from, from our oak tree. We'll have, half of our room be, really nice, like maybe live edge shelves and stuff, and the Murphy bed, and like, we're pretty excited about that. Not excited about the price, but we're excited about that happening.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's Kahoot it.
Let's
Kahoot it. All right. You guys can scan the QR code on your screen if that's easy enough for you. Scott, the reason that we did not have the QR code on Monday is because I had the screen too small.
Okay.
Figured out what I had done
can
wrong.
You click on it for just right now and like do the zoom scroll thing so it gets really big
sure.
for people?
Yep.
Ross. Oh, sorry. There's my sign Tourette's going.
You saw my name and you just said it.
You've ridden to Ohio
there's a button
with
that
me.
I can... Look at that, Scott. Woo!
Oh, I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, there's a little button that's like click to expand. So yeah, everybody scan that QR code, or you can go to kahoot.it and enter 4921970.
Nice.
That'll get you in the game. We'll give you a few minutes to join. And then we'll play a quick 5-question game.
Nice. This is what we do on Monday nights. We have two.
Mhm.
I think we're going to keep the format of 2 games of 12 questions. It's themed every Monday night. Joey comes on, has a couple guests, usually a fantasy cares person and someone else from the industry, maybe football guys. It's in partnership with football guys. So it's just a fun time. It's just a really fun time. You should check it out. Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern.
I have been kind of carving my path in the fantasy industry by doing games and trivia, thanks to the great people over at FYF, which I'm still a part of. I have not left. I'm still with those guys. I will be till the very end. Actually going to one of their weddings this week.
Thursday at 2:30. So make sure to tune. I'm just kidding. I texted JL like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, man, I miss you, man. It's been way too long.
He's a good guy.
And then he just replied, "New phone, who dis?"
Yeah.
No. Actually, he replied a really, really nice, sweet, long message, which I didn't reply to till the next day, and then I did, and I feel like it's fallen off since then. But we'll figure it out.
That sounds good. All right. Well, you guys want to start now?
Yep.
We got 13 people in there. All right. So we'll go ahead. First question. Let's get it going here. Saturday morning cartoon. Just one cartoon. All right. Who is this?
Who is this?
Who is that?
He's a number
Who's
one
that,
super
gentlemen?
guy.
Is it Karate Canine, Hong Kong Phooey, Muay Thai Mutt, or Tai Chi Terrier? I'm really, really proud of the 4 names I came up with.
Those are some amazing names. Amazing names.
All right. And you have 45 seconds to answer. So a lot of people in the chat there knew that was Hong Kong Phooey.
He's the number one super guy.
I don't know if you could use that name anymore, though. I'm sure that you get flagged for it. Who knows, though? All right, let's see what the leaderboard scoreboard says. We got Russ up in first place.
Russ all over it.
Oh, Steve. Give us a chance, Steve.
Yeah, Steve. Steve was our superstar on Monday night for sure. All right, next question, guys. What were the houses made of on the Smurfs? Were they mushrooms? Were they tree trunks, honey pots, or were they made of stucco?
We never saw the ceilings on the inside. They could have been stucco.
Because they had a clear top, and so 2 of those made up their houses. So I'm very curious what people are going to. I'm just kidding.
I was very scared of Gargamel when I was a kid.
Were you?
Did not like him. Yeah. All right. Ooh, 13 people in there saying mushrooms. That is correct. Oh, Russ still at the top with a 2-point lead over Dan Yan.
My kids consistently. I really don't get scared by almost anything. Ian is nodding right now because he's very annoyed. They try to scare me constantly. I don't recall really having anything much I was scared of as a kid. Dark, spiders.
Oh, I am a big baby.
There was one thing that I talked about on the bull rush, but
women.
maybe I'll talk about that later.
No.
Next question.
All right. Next question. All right. Where did Yogi Bear live? Was it Yellowstone Park, Jellystone Park, Mayfair Park, or Jamrock Park?
I hit the wrong button.
That is a painful one, Russ, when you hit the wrong button.
I'm like, oh, the right answer. And then I
Ooh.
have like the 6 other people with me. I went, my brain said Jellystone Park, but my finger went to Yellowstone.
Yeah.
That was a tricky one there. It
Yeah,
was Jellystone Park.
Joey likes to throw chicks in there. That's for sure.
The Al Cowlings, I got a lot of
That got
DMs about that one. It's like I killed somebody or something, you know? All right. Dan Yan has moved into first place, everyone. Get excited. Get your trophy ready for Dan Yan. Frank in the chat
Bob and I
has
are
the highest
tied.
answer streak of 3.
Bob and I are tied for 14th.
Ooh.
Is Dan Yan in the chat? Pipe up if you're in the chat, Dan Yan.
Well, you would have to be because we didn't.
He could be
Yeah,
watching.
it's a private game.
He could be watching on Twitter or something.
Yeah. I
Okay.
forgot it was Twitter also.
Well, Dan Yan are doing good.
Or Twitch. I see we have several Twitch people.
Some Twitchers in there. All right.
Yep.
All right. Next question. I'm so sad we only have 5 of them. The Schoolhouse Rock animated educational shorts first aired in what year?
Oh, come on.
1972, 1973, 1974, or 1975?
I just picked my favorite color.
Ooh, what's your favorite
the correct
color?
answer
Russ?
was
Blue.
73. Good job, Russ. You chose the correct answer. All right, let's see what the leaderboard looks like now. Oh, Stano. Just rising. Just rising.
Good
Ranking
job,
in
Paul.
the chat.
Good job, Paul.
Moving up there, Floor Killa. Dan Yan fell out of first place.
Paul,
Scott,
Frank, Andrew, Dan, Ben. Can I call you all by your first names? Is that okay? Paul, Frank, Andrew, Dan, and Ben.
All right, let's go to
I think that's a statement of how cool you are and the fact that like we're on a first name basis with all these people. We can see that.
Is that why you call me by my Joseph Michael Wright? You refuse to call me by just my first name?
I don't even use that. I'm like that guy.
That guy.
That one guy.
Yeah.
Did I tell you the did I tell you the question I thought you should incorporate at some point?
Which one?
Which of these tracksuits does Joey Wright not own?
Do I not own? I do own multiple. All right, let's get your last question here for you guys. Last question. What was Fat Albert's catchphrase? Was that Mamma Mia? What are you talking about, Willis? Hey, 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 or oh, hi? One of those 4. Oh, the chat. They knew that one. Hey, hey, hey.
I didn't get it fast enough to get myself back up there.
All right.
So
in third place, Floor Killa. Second place, Frank in the chat. In first place, it's Stano. Stano, good job.
Good job.
He came in wearing a crown, it looks like, so
just
he knew.
Representing what he is. Champion.
Well, congratulations, Paul. You're in the chat. I know you are. So if you want, I can send you a mini Funko Pop for winning Joey's trivia.
That's awesome.
If you let me know this is Lamar Jackson. Here's Trevor Lawrence. Maybe what's your favorite team? I only have like 11 left or so, but maybe I have a guy from your favorite team. No, Paul. There's no Vikings.
Oh, he'd be keeping the Vikings anyway.
Yep. The Vikings one is already gone. There was a Jefferson, but it's already gone.
Oh, I mean, it wasn't Sam Darnold.
Yeah. No, there are 24 of them, and we're down to like 11 now at this point. So. Born in 94.
That was awesome.
Frank in the chat was born in 94. We do have a Bills one, Paul, and it is this guy.
It's Josh
Cole
Allen.
Beasley. Oh, Josh Allen. That makes more sense.
No.
Josh Allen. I can send you
Russ,
this. Paul. I'll send
I
you
am
this.
excited for you
Well,
to
that's
come
what I
on Monday.
I'm very excited for the wide world of sports, of which I will know nothing, but I will act so confident that
If there's
it will be
not
ridiculous.
an Ahmad Rashad question, I'm gonna just I'm pretty sure we're gonna fire Joey. So
Okay. I will say that, boy, have I found some interesting sports that I didn't know existed.
I love it.
so it's like random sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, really fun. I mean, there'll be, I
Like
put a
cheese
couple,
wheel racing and stuff.
maybe there might be a
Have
cheese
you
wheel
watched
racing.
He's
that
like,
Netflix?
how did
that
you
Netflix
know?
documentary
That's
series?
literally the second question. It's about cheese wheel racing.
There's a Netflix documentary series on crazy sports that are played around the world, and cheese wheel racing is one of them.
Oh man, I got to go look that up to prepare.
It's one of the most interesting.
It's awesome.
Why water sports fits into us older guys. Yeah, we'll have some fun. There'll be some regular questions, sports questions in there as well, basketball and stuff. But well, we're not all footballed out. Like, there's no way that any of us could all be footballed out. But it's fun to talk about other stuff too. So
Oh yeah.
we're looking forward to doing that.
I am so happy that Frank knows the sport I'm talking about, but also knows statistics about the sport I'm talking about.
There's a guy, this Chris Anderson has won 20 because they do five races per year, like on the same day. So they do like 5 runs. And he's won 22 times in the 17 years that he's been involved in the chasing the wheel of cheese.
Jeez. Wow.
So, but now I'm gonna take that question out of there. So
I appreciate you coming on, man. I know you don't have much time and you're not in your normal studio, and that I was willing to do it without you.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Wife fell asleep. So watch We Do in the Shadows. Had it on there. I looked over and
nice.
I have to watch that. I watched like the first 2 episodes, and it's not like I disliked it, but my brain went in a different direction, and I never went back to go watch it.
I only watch it for Matt Berry, not the analyst Matthew Berry.
Really?
He's not on What to Do.
Oh, how far into are you to Colin Robinson yet? Then
I guess not. No, I'm like on episode 4. But
oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah,
Colin Robinson might be the best part of the show. But
really? Okay.
Andrew, does Colin come in season 2 or 3?
I thought it was 1, so it must be 2.
It might still be 1. It's either 1 or 2, but it's Mark Prosh. I don't know if you know Mark Prosh, but he was in The Office as Nate. He got his start in Hollywood because he, like, early in his career, he would go on like local TV stations pretending to be a yo-yo expert, but knowing nothing about yo-yo.
Yeah, he's in season 1.
Okay. Yeah, he becomes arguably the best part of the show.
Okay.
Matt Berry and him carry the show. That's for sure.
I have been waiting for the US to get Toast of London for so long. Because I've only ever seen clips of Matt Berry on Toast of London, but it's so hysterical. So one day BBC will give it to us. So
one day.
But that day is not today. So, but guys, thank you for shouting out Football Guys. They're a great company. They give me, they put food on my table, so I will say nothing but wonderful things about them. But you guys have a great night. It was a blast popping on for a little bit, and I look forward to playing trivia with everyone on the screen at some point in the next few weeks.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye, chat. Have a great night, everybody. I'm gonna go watch all that nice things Scott said about me. Didn't know I was listening.
Oh, Joey's the best. Love Joey. So I guess moving on. from that awesome trivia. You should tune in 9 p.m. Eastern Monday nights. It's awesome. You should also tune in 9 p.m. Eastern Tuesday nights for the Rookie Hootenanny with J Mike and our own Zach Reed sitting right over there wearing an SFB 14 shirt.
It's usually
Awesome.
9:30. It's usually 9:30. Like it's a struggle for J Mike to get home, get situated
Okay.
for 9. So we've been doing 9:30.
I think you went live at like 9:08 last night, didn't you? Though, like I feel like it was like 9:08 for some reason.
It was I think it was late. It was later than that. But
All right.
I might have set the show up at 9:08.
I don't remember. I feel like I tuned in at somewhere around then when I was in bed, but also I was probably very tired and didn't check the time very well either. But yeah, check out the Hootenanny. Speaking of, looking at rookies, dynasty stuff. So I've mentioned this before on Twitter. I've mentioned this before on the show, and I'm enamored with a person in Safe Leagues, Dynasty Leagues. He might be the best dynasty player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I don't have data on this. I've talked to Russ about this. This is the guy that buys a bunch of $1 orphans and wins like $2,000 with them each year. He spends like $300 and wins like $2,000. It's orphans that nobody wants, and he wins thousands of dollars with them. So as orphans are selling this year, I look, and so far, I have the data. 11 of the $1, nobody wants them, nobody is buying them, orphans, $1 orphans that nobody wants. 11 of them have now sold for $1,029. The entry fees are $460. So he took these $1 teams, won money, and dropped them back off to us to sell for $1,000, like $100+ a piece.
That's insane.
This
Should put that guy on the payroll.
Like, I have no words for how good you must be at Dynasty that you are able to reform these teams in 1 year without trading any future picks, potentially win money, and make them a team that everybody wants to buy. Like, how good do you have to be at Dynasty? And the thing is, it's not like he did it once. He's done it 3 years in a row. This is 11 different teams already. This is consistency. Like, it is shocking how good this guy must be at Dynasty. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I have no idea how you can do that.
It would be interesting to see like the moves, like how they operate.
I know. I'm like, I just don't have the bandwidth to go check into his 30, 40, 50 teams that he buys for $1 a piece.
Yeah.
To like check how he does this. But
that's really
like,
incredible.
He won another like $1,800 this year, and last year was like $2,100, and he buys like 30, 40, 50 $1 orphans.
Yeah.
And
where does he do this?
Oh yeah, safeleaguesfantasy.com. There are no $1 orphans yet. We're not at that point of discounting. Like all the teams up for sale are still, regular priced. He waits to grab the teams that nobody wants, is what he does. He waits till the very end to grab the teams that nobody wants. But yeah, safeleaguesfantasy.com. But honestly, it's just shocking. I was telling Russ about it the other day. He had one team that it's a $30 league. He bought the team for $1 last year. It's a $30 entry fee. It sold for $409.
But like on the other side of it, what's the benefit of spending so much money on a $30 buy-in league? Like,
I I am consistently surprised by that. I understand it when it's like an amazing team and you're like, I'm probably going to win a title with this. I'm like the first place prize in that $30 league is like $210 or whatever, right? That's first place.
So spending $150 where you'll still make 60, $70, maybe that makes sense. But spending more than 2 championships worth.
Yeah, and it's the fun of having a good team. There's something to that too, right? Like you want to buy a team that has a lot of the players you like. But 409, you literally have to win the league twice to make your money back.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but when you go to social media and you brag about ROI, you don't say that you spent $400 on a $30 league. You're like, I'm in a $30 league. I won.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But like the first year I talked about it on Twitter. I'm like, sometimes the best team you see in the offseason goes up in flames, and sometimes the worst team you see, like the teams nobody wants, they win it. But this guy is putting it to a different level. I'm so like, I'm mentally invested in how this guy is doing this every year.
That's wild.
I'm happy he's doing it though. Honestly,
yeah,
I'm happy that he's winning because all these teams are coming, like going, like they're $1, they're nobody wants them teams, and then a year later they are, normal teams again. I don't know.
On that, and Florkilla says, half the struggle is finding people that want to trade, and that's the win. But Scott said he doesn't trade his picks.
He doesn't.
He hangs on to his picks, which again makes this wild. Like it's to me, I'm picturing the story. It was probably 6 or 7 years ago. The kid who like had the paperclip, and he kept trading it.
Yeah.
And like ended up with like a house or something, like, or a car. Like
I showed Russ that team a screenshot. I bet I have a screenshot. I bet I can pull it up. I do. So the team that won for 409 is a super flex league. And my guess is he just traded around for quarterbacks that people were selling. This is the team that went for 409 or 416, maybe. I wrote down 409. It must have been 416. That was the current high bid when it finally sold, 415.95. But I don't know if you can see that.
Trevor Lawrence, Drake. Okay, there you go. All right, a little too close in there.
Yeah, a little too close.
All I see is Rashad Bateman.
It's got
Saquon.
Lawrence, Drake May, Bo Nix, Penix Jr., CJ Stroud, Caleb Williams in a super flex. It's got Achane. It's got, it's got some. It doesn't have much else. Jameson Williams, maybe Jalen McMillan, maybe Drake London, maybe. Sorry that it's so small.
You got St. Brown, Amon-Ra. Cole Kmet. Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins, I guess. Bigsby, maybe. Barkley. It's got Saquon Barkley. But this was – I need to look at the moves because this was a $1 team a year ago. See how he's saved all his picks.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And this is the roster he ended up with. A $1 team, he turned it into this.
And really sharp with drafting like all quarterbacks to start.
Oh yeah,
with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess if I looked at all his drafts, he's like, it's super flex. Quarterbacks are the cheapest they are is the draft.
Yep.
So you're right. He was probably smart in just drafting straight quarterbacks. A lot of the chat is saying Barkley. Yeah, I know. I missed it initially. But
never heard of him.
Right. This was legitimately we had to give it away for $1, and he turned it into this team. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's incredibly impressive.
It's one of those things that makes me think to myself, man, I feel like I've been good at Dynasty in my life, but just the data I've seen on this guy this guy crushes.
Like I've seen J Mike do it in like 2 or 3 leagues, like basically that. But like to do it in 25 or 30 or 40 leagues a year that's wild.
Yeah, just absolutely insane. On the flip side, I have a guy. So we Safe Leagues has like a thing that blocks you from buying new teams if you drop like a ton of teams, right? So I have a guy that dropped like 8 teams 2 years ago and 7 teams a year ago. And he was trying to buy new teams again this year. And we're like, no, we don't like orphan turners. And I looked, and of the 15 teams he dropped, 14 of them sold for $1 and one of them sold for $10. And I'm like, not only is he dropping tons of teams, he's trashing them on the way out. I'm like, no, I don't want to let you get I don't want to make an exception to the rule for you when it's likely you're just going to give me another $1 team. Bob is on mute. He doesn't realize that he's on mute.
I've said I'm sorry many times, and you keep bringing it up.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, I need to call it a night. I am getting sleepy, and I hear my kids are still awake, so I need to get them to bed too.
Oh my gosh, yeah, go, buddy.
It's a snow day here, Russ.
It is not. It stopped snowing and it started raining. It's supposed to be. We got like 2-3 inches of snow. The kids had to delay opening today. It's gonna be 50-something degrees tomorrow.
Yeah, see, we got they called it. They called it 5. We're just getting in the car to drive back home, and I had my phone plugged in because the boys were listening to an audiobook, and all of a sudden it's the superintendent.
Yep.
He's like, "Hi, this is Paul Manuel, superintendent of," and he's like, "No school tomorrow," and the boys are just having a party in the back seat. I was like, Harrison's like, "Can I get a second milkshake?" And I was like, "No,
calm down.
Yeah.
We're not partying that hard." All right. Well, good night, everybody.
50. That's crazy. All right. Good night, Russ. Have a good one.
Good night, buddy.
What's funny is
Now
Russ
there's nothing to
would
talk about.
be part of the wild robot discussion. Maybe next week. Maybe next week. Because I want to talk about Wild Robot in this show.
I haven't seen it yet. My wife is making the kids read the book before we see it.
Okay.
So Russ just bailed. I sent he and his kids, probably 2 months ago, all 3 books.
Yep. So I don't know when they'll get around to that, but it's 3 books, really.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're quick read. They're not tough. But the movie's only the first book. So
okay.
But there's a trilogy in there. It's basically Star Wars.
I have found an incredible. I'm sure we bring it up next week again with Russ on. Maybe I feel like Joey would want to get in on this too, but I feel like, and Jagger May, who I love Jagger. He kind of epitomizes the dichotomy I have seen out there that people without kids are like, it's good. People with kids are like, that was friggin' amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like people with kids catch a whole new level, and there's so many lines in there that hit you that will never hit someone that doesn't have kids because, you haven't had that experience yet.
Yeah.
And I totally respect both those points of views, but I'm like, it's really a movie that when you watch it, where you are in life really matters.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting for me because I know. So when we go watch a movie, I end up sitting between the boys because I hold the popcorn, and they both. And so It was like knowing that I'm going to look over and my wife is going to be just like full on. Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't do that anymore. Like every time I go up to the counter, I'm like, I ask the attendant for boats, the little boats, so that I don't have to, like, I pour some in there, but I'm not going to hold the boat.
We can't. We can't handle boats yet.
No. All right.
Oh my.
Yeah, I just bought our Captain America tickets for Sunday morning. Mac and Ian are super excited.
Nice.
Mac is so excited for the new Jurassic World. Oh, I showed him the trailer. He saw the new D-Rex. Oh my God, he is.
Yep.
He is so excited. There's some good movies coming, or well, at least some things to be excited about. We don't know they're good yet, but
yeah. Huh. The chat is very excited that the Red Sox signed Alex Bregman, which is it's a good bet. You know what they did though, Frank? They signed Bregman tonight because their July and August tickets go on sale tomorrow. That's exactly what they're doing.
So yeah. At Fenway, do they hit trash cans to make sure that Bregman can, get all his stats,
I've got seats in May in center field, and so I'll scout it out, make sure
you'll help out with that.
Yeah.
Sure, that makes sense. That makes sense. Frank, yes, I do. I think Bob does too. I follow baseball. I'm not sure that if Bob does or not, but I do.
Bob and I were at a Sox game together last year.
I'm obviously not making a Bregman trash can reference if I don't follow baseball well enough to know. Oh, yeah. Yep. I don't have much else on my list here. Nope, nothing else on my list. But it was a good night. You got anything else, Zach?
I mean, nothing pressing. It's always a good night. I know I say this basically every time I do a show. The chat here is amazing. It is so much fun to do this show because it's, we have 4 of us in, but then there's another, 40, 50, 60 people. It's just it's so much fun. It's tremendous.
Absolutely. I love the chat. That's why we consistently try to find ways to give stuff away to the chat or give back, because you support us. We want to do things for you. It's an incredible community we've got here between us.
Absolutely.
You're welcome, Paul. You're welcome for the mini Funko, the Josh Allen little guy. I would put up a wheel for something, but the wheel kills my computer, so I just don't want to do that anymore. But we're gonna try to figure out another way for me to give away more stuff. Scam. Oh, I love Scam. Some of the jazz things, we know who we am. That's great. Oh man. Yeah, I got FSGA in Vegas coming up this next upcoming week, which it's gonna be fun. I enjoy it. It's a little bit stressful for me. I'm having conversations with lots of people, and I'm having dinners and stuff, and it's a little more business oriented, but it's a fun time. Fantasy Cares is up for Fantasy Business of the Year, the Company of the Year or whatever, Fantasy Company of the Year, whatever it is. I think we're one of 6 or 7. Is that right, Bob? Is it one of 6 or 7 to be up for Company of the Year? So that would be pretty badass if we won that. I don't have the highest hopes. I know of at least 4 or 5 people that have voted for us in FSGA. So, that's a good sign, I guess. I really feel like we should have put ourselves up for like tried to get nominated for at least like live show of the year. You know, that would have been
new live show.
Yeah.
yes.
There was the category new live stream.
Yeah, new live video show or whatever of the year, and I'm like, man, I wish we would have known to try to get ourselves.
Is there like a variety show like category? Because it's not really. it's like hard air quotes fantasy.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I hope we are able to bring home that hardware. If not, oh well. But I come right home, and my wife is already gone for France. She's going to France with a friend for about 5 days. She's going to Paris, so with a friend who's never been, which is
Nice.
never been like overseas. So that's gonna be awesome. That'll be the second time in 2 years or 3 years that my wife has taken someone to Paris who's never been like overseas. And my wife lived there for a little bit. She's fluent in French, etc. So if there's someone to go with, it's probably her. But it's an interesting week where I'm basically not going to see my wife except for 7 or 8 days, and that's borderline the longest in our 20 plus year relationship, you know? So it's going to be an interesting week. Yeah. Not a whole lot. I thought not a whole lot to that. I just thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Europe is on my bucket list, Scott, but I haven't like.
Have you never been?
I have never been. I've been to Canada, but outside of the country proper, I have not been, or outside of the continent. I have not been. Yeah. So, and I've only been as far west as Colorado.
Really?
Yeah. So I've been to Florida. Yeah, I've been to Florida, I've been to Texas, but I've never been west of Colorado. And I've never been it's a sore spot because when I was in high school, my parents were like, if you keep above it was like a 3.5, we'll pay for school, and then when you get out, we'll send you to Europe. You can kick around for a month, and they split up like halfway through my freshman year, and so I didn't get the trip, and I ended up having to pay my own way, and so like I've never kind of caught up and gone. Europe is on my list, and then Japan. Like I would love to go to Japan and kick around, but
yeah, that I would like to go way out there at some point. I've definitely been to Europe multiple times. I've been to France. I've been to Paris like 3 times. I've been to Scotland before. We're going to Scotland again this summer, which is going to be interesting and fun. Spending 8 days there.
Yeah,
that's my ancestry. So
yeah,
it's always a good time going there. But yeah, traveling's fun. Got a lot of SFB events coming up that we'll travel for, which will be good too.
Yeah.
Yep. Ooh. I'm trying to check out what the chat has going on.
Good. Craig Eckert, Mr. Baseball. If you want to play next season, you're a Chunichi Dragon. Bob, did you just do that?
I may have.
That is solid.
Hey, you know,
did that shirt exist before? I don't recall.
No. It's a new throwback.
So now we're just making up this totally we're trying to Mandela affect people. Is that what's going on?
Oh, Scott, you should see the one I have in the works. I'm trying to figure out the way to get the overlay correct for the font. But
the Berenstein Bowl.
It is it's going to be The throwback of all throwbacks.
I got to tell you, I got my Pac-Man, and I absolutely love it.
That one is good. That one is good.
So,
I did a Grateful Dead one.
Nice.
A guy just paid for a couple leagues, and I don't feel like I'm violating anything here because we can put their names on the website on leaderboards and stuff like that. I have a guy in some safe leagues, and his actual name, identity verified name is Tommy Brohammer. That's a pretty badass name.
Yeah.
That feels like a guy that fought Rocky, like in Rocky 5, that Tommy Gunn or whatever.
Yeah.
Feels like that's an incredible name.
That's like the name they give the enforcer in a hockey movie. You know that?
Yes. Yeah. Every time I see it come through, I think to myself, dang, that is a name. And half the time it comes through as Thomas, and sometimes it comes through as Tommy.
Yeah.
So like
that's like the opposite of there was a pitcher back in the 80s and 90s, but Bob Walk. Like it's the opposite of that. Yeah.
the absolute opposite of that. Oh, yeah. Bob will never Bob wishes he could ever get to that level, but it's really difficult. It's really difficult.
Bob doesn't even have a card that says I'm a graphic designer.
Right. And when you're the architect of the goat meter, like I'm at the point I don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. That one's pretty good. I mean, maybe Scott could touch it up for me.
That is a sweet fish. Honestly, that is a really, really sweet fish.
I mean, I really wish I could get the correct overlay on that other one because I'd love to be able to throw it out there.
Oh, I like that. Brohammer's a great wrestling move name.
Oh, that is.
They're like, oh, he's got him in the Brohammer.
Cena would hang out with Brohammer. It's a good name. It's a good name. I think now that I think more about it, I think it is more fun when it comes across as Thomas Brohammer. But Tommy Brohammer. It's such a good name. Oh. It's one of those names that I'd be super disappointed. Like if I met him in person, he's like
5'6", like 140 pounds.
No, not even that. He comes at me, hey, I'm Tommy Brohammer. And I'm like, no, it's literally spelled Brohammer. You can't call it Brohammer. Oh. Yeah, that would be the other thing, though. You're right. Like he's like 5'6", 150 or something. No. What do you think, guys? 10:08 or 11:08 your time? We've been on for an hour and 38 minutes. Call it a night.
You're not gonna hurt me. I did a
Zach's
long
got
night
a snow day.
Yeah,
Zach's
I did a
got
long.
snow day.
I don't have a snow day. The boys have a snow day. I still have to work. We the shipyard doesn't shut down unless the state shuts the roads down. So like the state government will shut down, but as long as the highway's still open, the shipyard's open.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'll be working, but
Trying to do this.
I think I didn't see any snow outside, so I'm not very happy about that.
Bob, I will say you're going to need to press the buttons tonight
Oh, I will.
if you want
Well,
to get.
you tell me when. I mean, I'll find it.
I mean,
I feel like Paul, that's a great show ender. I may steal that, Paul. I have to go brush my dog's teeth and put them to bed. That's a show ender. It's better than hey, look over there.
It could be. I mean, it could be a really good one. I was hoping to get this done, but it's not going to happen. All right, I'll find the button. Maybe next week we'll have a new one.
thanks everyone for hanging out.
Absolutely.
We'll see you when we see you.